Hello and welcome to Ruby Jean Reads. I'm Ruby Jean and I love to read, especially Sarah J. Maas books and especially ACOTAR. Today we're going to be tier ranking every single one of the characters from ACOTAR. I'm also going to do this for Throne of Glass. Whenever I try to do a series where I do a video for one of each of the book series, Crescent City always gets the least amount of love. So if you guys really want a Crescent City, I can also do a Crescent City. But we're starting off strong with ACOTAR. Let's just start with the categories, shall we? We're going to start with number one, which is comfort character. I feel like for me, the ACOTAR books are more comfort books than anything, so this felt appropriate. Then we have I Can Get Behind You. I like the character. If someone was absolutely ripping on the character, I'd probably defend them. I do like them. Maybe they're not comfort level, but like they're good. They're fine. Next is I Need More. This is either I don't know enough about you to have an opinion about you, or I feel like we need to explore you more in a future book before I can actually have an opinion. So that's where that category is going to come into play. Then we have I Forgot That You Existed. This can be petty, or it could be legitimately I forgot that this character existed. I will say I did find a pre-made tier maker, so there are definitely probably going to be some characters that I don't actually remember and I forgot that they existed. Then next and last is Please Go Away, which is just either hate this character or I think they're ruining the book whenever they're in the book. So that could go two different ways, so we'll just have to see where everyone lands. Now, I know there's tier makers where you can actually like see pictures, but there weren't names, and honestly, knowing me, I know the fan art of Throne of Glass really, really well. I, however, do not know the fan art for ACOTAR nearly as well. That's why we're doing it with just the names. But we're gonna start strong with the Adder. Honestly, obviously, the Adder is a bad character. The Adder is evil. But I low-key really liked the Adder. I can't like get behind them morally, but I can get behind the Adder in the aspect that I liked what they added to the story, and I thought that it was kind of unique on Sarah J. Maas's part to do that. For Cassian, I'm kind of bordering I Can Get Behind You and comfort character. I loved Cassian until A Court of Silver Flames, which I know for people it's the opposite. They didn't care about him and then they loved him in A Court of Silver Flames. I just don't know if I agree with every decision that he made in Silver Flames, but I feel like some of you might come for my head if I don't put him in comfort character, so I may just put him there for now at least. I feel like most of the inner circle is going to be comfort characters for me. Okay, so for Bryaxis, which is like the little creature that lives in the pit of the library, I want more. I really do. I think we're gonna get more in the next book about Bryaxis, and some people may be like, oh, isn't Bryaxis missing? Yeah, but like, have we ever known Sarah J. Maas to just like let a character off the hook like that? No. Bryaxis is going to be coming back. I'm very certain. Now, the names that I'm going to struggle to pronounce, which is Saradwin and Nuala. They are the servants that work for Rhysand, who like painted Farah under the mountain, but then they also helped dress her when she first came to the Night Court. Honestly, I like them, but it's easy to forget that they existed. Like, there is definitely a sweet moment where Farah like sees them after coming back from the Spring Court, and she like clings to them and she feels comforted by them. And then I believe in A Court of Silver Flames, we even find out that Elaine is getting closer to them. So who knows, maybe I need more. Maybe they'll become bigger characters in a future book. I could see that. For Morgan, I need more. LOL, I need more. Get it? More. I loved Morgan, and Morgan was one of my favorite characters, but you know, after seeing all the theories about how sketchy she actually is, I want to get behind her. I really, really do. A lot of the theories are against her right now, so I need more of Morgan in the next book. Now, along the same lines, for Eris, I need more. And I know some people are like, what do you mean? He's a horrible man. Do you remember what he did to Mor? I remember what Morrigan said Eris did. There's also this really weird thing where Eris literally says, like, he knows the truth of what happened that night, and he, like, confronts Mor about it. I really want, like, a novella or a flashback to what actually happened that night. I think Morrigan either might be lying to us or she was misled and she doesn't actually know what happened. So for Isaac Hale, Please Go Away. This is the guy that was like a fling with Farah at the beginning before she crossed the wall. So Isaac sucked. I didn't like him. Anywho, that's all I gotta say about him. So Balthazar, on the other hand, I can get behind. This is the Illyrian warrior who helped Nesta and her friends during the Blood Rite. I would like to see more of him in the future. But I can get behind him. Like, I don't need more to get behind him, but I would like to see more of him for sure. Now for the bog. This thing, I like the bog. I think the bog is cool. It's like a type of creature. The bog wasn't a one-off because Tamlin unalived the bog. I would like to see another bog in the future play a bigger role. I feel like the bog was mostly placed into A Court of Thorns and Roses to kind of set the scene of like how dark and scary magic can actually be. But the concept of a bog was really, really cool. That's the one that only takes form if you acknowledge it. Only a high lord is powerful enough to actually destroy a bog. I mean, it was a cool concept, but give me more bogs. I want to see more bogs. The Bone Carver. Actually, low-key comfort character, that may be a hot take. I loved the Bone Carver. Like, not only was he a really cool character, I feel like everything he says so much hints towards the Massverse. And yeah, the Bone Carver was just great. Loved him. Okay, Dragden and Brenog? I don't know how to say that. But these are the Daemati twins. I had to look this one up because I forgot that they existed, so we can already do that. But these were the Daemati twins who came to the Spring Court after Tamlin partnered with Hybern when Farah was a spy during ACOTAR. So that's who they were. It was a cool scene because we got to see how Farah is able to control putting a wall up so that people can't just like lurch into her mind. But besides that, like, that was kind of it. Now for Bryalan, please go away. Cressida. Or Cressida. She's High Fae of the Summer Court. I don't remember much about her. We forgot that she existed, frankly. Lord Devlin. Lord Devlin, if you remember from A Court of Silver Flames, was the extremely sexist man who is anti Nesta and the girls trying to become Valkyrie or like Illyrian level warriors. He's very anti-women with wings. He's very anti-women in the army in general. He gives Cassian a really hard time, and for that alone, please go away. We don't like you. We don't want you here. For Clotho, I wish I knew more about her. She is the mute priestess who works in the library in Valaris. We do get her backstory, but because her tongue was like removed when she was attacked when she was younger, we don't really get more from her because she can't tell us about her. We only really get like a snippet of what happened to her and how she ended up where she is. I would like to see her character actually playing some sort of role in the plot in the future. I doubt that, but it would be nice. The Middengard Worm. Okay, the Middengard Worm actually makes me kind of mad. I'm gonna put Middengard Worm in Please Go Away. And all I'm gonna say is that if you have read the entire discography of Sarah J. Maas, you will understand why I'm putting it there. But if you've only read ACOTAR, you might not understand. And that's all I'm gonna say, because I don't want to spoil anything for anyone. Next is Helion, Lucian's real daddy, even though he nor Lucian know it. Need more. I want to find out more about what Lucian's real heritage says about him and his power. And I think a big part of that is going to be Lucian kind of like getting to know his biological father. For Ianthe, please go away. I hate you. I'm glad you're dead. Now for Jurian. I can get behind him. I don't love him, but I could get behind him. For Kilius. Guys, if I'm botching some of these names, if they're not a main character, I have not taken the time to learn how to pronounce her name. But for Kilius, I'm gonna put that I forgot you existed. Honestly, same thing with his lady, so sorry. King of Hybern. Please go away. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. For Lanthis, I am begging you. I need more. From what we know, Lanthis is a shapeshifter. One of my favorite characters in the Massverse is a shapeshifter, and I just really, really want more shapeshifter plot lines. I feel like that's one of the most underestimated powers in a fantasy book, and realistically, shapeshifting, like if I could only have one power or magical power, I would pick shapeshifting. So actually, I'm going to take this moment to pause. If you know any books that have really good shapeshifting characters, or shapeshifting is a very large part of the magic system, please put them in the comments below because I really want to read more books about shapeshifting abilities. I just think it's so cool. Like, it's the coolest power in my opinion. For Maja, I can get behind her. She's the healer in Valaris. She's the only reason like any of our bat boys have wings. So for that alone, she's amazing. Okay, for Miriam, I need more. Like, I know we've gotten some of her backstory, and I think her backstory is kind of cool, but I just need more to have an actual opinion about her. I love that she's the ruler of a peaceful land, and I think that's great, but I also just want to like get to know her better before I have an opinion about her. I mean, maybe let's just say I can get behind you. I feel like that's pretty accurate. The Ravens, which are King of Hybern's like fighters, please go away. Suriel, comfort character. You will be missed. May you rest in peace. If you guys have read some Massverse theories about the Suriel, I really hope they're true and confirmed in a future book. For Tarquin, I low-key love Tarquin. I just really like the whole section of the book where we're in the summer court, and him sending Farah like the blood rubies was so iconic. So I do love Tarquin, and for that reason, he is going to be a comfort character. The San, one of the High Lords. I forgot that you existed, frankly. Same thing with Varian. I think he's there in the summer court, but like, I don't know. I feel like every single time I hear his name, I have to be like, wait, who is that again? Now for Vassa, I need more. The whole Band of Exiles thing with like her, Lucian, and Jurian and all that, I cannot wait to see the Band of Exiles like really be elaborated on in the future. Actually, we're gonna go I Can Get Behind You because you do belong with Jurian, but I need to see like the Band of Exiles like doing their own thing. Maybe that's like a novella in the future. I could really get behind that. The Water Wraiths. Sure, I can get behind you. If Farah can get behind you, I can get behind you. Weaver of the Woods. Iconic. Dare I say comfort character? I will say maybe she's not a comfort character, but I feel like all of the scenes that she was in are some of my favorite scenes. So for that alone, I'm gonna put her as comfort character. Feyre, comfort character. Rhysand, I can get behind you. I used to think Rhysand was a comfort character, but according to the Massverse, there are some Rhysand is evil theories. And the more I read them, the more I look into them, the more I realize that Rhysand might break my heart in the future. Read every single book in the Massverse and then look up the Rhysand is evil theories and tell me that you don't also hesitate now. I hate to say it, it breaks my heart, but it's true. Baron, please go away. This is who Lucian currently thinks is his father. I always said Andreas, but I think it's actually Andros? I don't know. Listen, I'm gonna put I Can Get Behind You because Andros is the one who was shapeshifted by Tamlin into a wolf and was shot and killed by Farah at the beginning of ACOTAR. And the whole reason that Tamlin like went and retrieved her anyways. I know we don't get much about who Andros was before he left and did that, but I feel like that just shows like he was loyal, he was a good friend, and the fact that both Lucian and Tamlin really mourned that he was the one to be killed, even though it meant like, you know, Farah coming and potentially being able to save them all, they still really dealt with the heartbreak, and even though they knew they were supposed to like make her fall in love, they really struggled with their hatred for her because she killed someone that they loved. So in my heart, I feel like Andros had to be like the most amazing heart of gold person in the Spring Court. So that's just how I feel. For Tamlin, I want to say please go away. I have theories. Okay, actually, I'm going to share this. I didn't share this in my ACOTAR theory video because I hadn't heard this one yet. It was actually my coworker. She is currently reading Throne of Glass and she's read ACOTAR. And she pointed out to me, she's like, you know how Tamlin was able to shift Andros and he's able to shapeshift himself? Like, he's a shapeshifter, right? She said, what if at the cauldron, when he like betrays Farah and basically volunteers her sisters to be thrown into the cauldron as a science experiment, what if Tamlin had shapeshifted into Lucian and Lucian was shapeshifted into Tamlin? And that is why when Rhysand went to go see Tamlin after everything had happened, he seemed like less powerful and like an absolute wreck. And all the theories about how Elaine and Tamlin are meant to like be together add up. So people are like, why would she then be mated with Lucian? I think she's actually mated with Tamlin. And the last reason, and then I'll finally let this go, that I really think that Tamlin is in Lucian's body is because Elaine, when she was trying to sense the mating bond, said, "I can hear your heart through the stone." Tamlin has a heart of stone, per ACOTAR Book 1. You cannot convince me that that is not the betrayal that Sarah J. Maas warned us about in the next book. I fear I may be correct. Now, Azriel's tricky for me. I want to say comfort character, but realistically, how much do we actually know about Azriel? Like, that's the thing. So I'm going to put I can get behind you. Although Azriel in his personality is a comfort character for me, I really struggle with the fact that I don't know if I can trust Azriel because we don't actually know enough about him. But I feel like anytime we see the inner circle together, I do kind of gravitate towards Azriel's personality. So I'm going to put I can get behind you, but I also low-key need more, and he's also low-key a comfort character, so he's like all three. For Nesta, I need more. I really do. I think A Court of Silver Flames, although it is about healing, it's only about the ugly part of Nesta's healing, and at the end we get her like saying, "I'm gonna change," but we don't actually see the change yet. I am interested to see Nesta actually become a better person now that she's accepted the fact that she needs to turn some stuff around. I can get behind Nesta if she actually sticks to her word. So I think she will. Just based off how Sarah J. Maas talks about Nesta, I definitely think that's going to happen. But I don't want to get my heart broken and prematurely be like, yes, Nesta's a changed person. And for everyone who says, but she saved her sister's life. Guys, that's not like even a horrible person would save their own sister's life. You know, like sisters. Right? I have 3 of them. I get it. You love your sisters. Even if they drive you crazy, you absolutely love them. And you would do anything for them. So in my opinion, Nesta saving Farrah's life is not a sign of a change of heart. However, I do think she has changed. I just want to see her words put to action first. I'm a very big, like, action speaks louder than words girly, which is why I need more from Nesta, and which is why I struggle to trust Azriel and Morgan, because I feel like for those 3, we get a lot of words, but not a lot of action. For Elaine Archeron, I need more. I have a theory that Elaine's going to become my favorite sister once we actually get to know her. I just have a theory. Amren, comfort character. I love her. I feel like the parts that usually people don't like about Amren is like her tough love, kind of cold heart, tell it as it is attitude in certain scenarios. But in my opinion, every friend group needs one of those people, and she does it perfectly. Also, she's just iconic. For Lucian, I can get behind you. I can get behind you. I don't like the bit of the self-righteous attitude that he gives Farrah sometimes, but I think he's growing out of that. I would like to see how he handles the whole Elaine situation, if it's even him, because it could be Tamlin. But if it is actually Lucian, I think how he handles Elaine maybe struggling to choose him, or Elaine choosing someone else potentially, how he handles that I think is going to tell me a lot about who Lucian is as a character. Amarantha, please go away. Alice, comfort character. Nothing else left to say there. For Drakon, I forgot that you existed. Emery and Gwen, both comfort characters. This is like the girl group of every girl's dreams. I never really had like a bestie girl group, but if I did, I would love it to be like with these girls. These 2, amazing, and I really hope we get more of them in future books. I personally would like to see Cassian making the Valkyrie an actual recognized part of their military, and then these girls all kind of bring back the Valkyrie. I would love to see it. Then for Lord Grayson, which is the man who actually stomped, ate up, chewed, spit out Elaine's heart publicly, please go away. I want nothing to do with you. Goodbye. Ridiculous. The audacity of that man, frankly. Anyways, that is all of the characters that I'm going to be sorting for ACOTAR today. There were a lot of them, but I had absolutely a ton of fun doing it, and I'm really excited to do Throne of Glass next. So you should definitely subscribe to get notified whenever I post that one. Or you should definitely go check out my Maas First playlist. Don't worry if you haven't read every single one of the Sarah J. Maas books yet. I do at the beginning of every video tell you what it spoils and what it does not spoil so that you don't accidentally get any spoilers. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon.